third graders, it's Miss Street. Hope you're having a great day. Who's ready for some supertazing? Ready. Seven groups of 5. What is that? 35. Our factors are 7 and 5. Our product is 35. Eight and 5 are our factors. There's 8 groups of 5. What is that? 40. This song makes me want to go like to the Caribbean or something. I've never been. Have you? Okay. 9 groups of 5. So that's factors are 9 and 5. What's the product? 45. Again, we're practicing that repeated addition. That's right down here. Repeated equal groups. We're repeating addition when we do that right there. Yay. All right, guys. So we're working on 3.NF.3 represent equivalent fractions with area and length models. We know that area models are like our fraction bars and our circle disc that we made a long time ago. Length models is our number line. We're going to compose, decompose, and look at related fractions, okay? So with this standard, you guys also have to know when the numerator and denominator are the same, that means they have the same value as one whole. So this right here could be a candy bar. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. 4/4 make up the whole candy bar. It's a true story, okay? Whole numbers up to the number 4 as fractions. So we have to be able to see 3 as 12/4. And a number less than 3 is 10/4. It's a true story. I know, right? It's a lot. Okay. So I've been working on this with you guys, and I stopped here last week, and I wanted to show you how to make connections here. So one of these problems I did was which one of these shows us half? And we looked, and we know that these two together make half. 2/4 has the same value as half. They're related fractions. But then Ms. Street said, if we were to look at these as 4 wholes, I can do this. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like our whole numbers up to 4. If we looked at that as a fraction, what are our equal groups? 4. So here there were 7/4 were red. And I know y'all are like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/4, okay? 7/4 are red. So I wanted to show you that like this in a way that you could see. It's a little far away. Give me just a minute. I always struggle with this. You'd think I'd have it down pat by now. But I don't. And it's okay. We're going to figure it out. Ta-da-ta. Is that better? There went my phone. That's okay. I think it's a little bit better. So I'll move this up a little bit closer. So here I said we have 7/4. So if I were to color this in a way that we could actually see it, but the point is that you're able to see it this way, okay? But Miss Street wants to show you this way. I'm going to start with the wholes. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7/4. And if we look at this, we know that that's 1 whole and 3/4. Look at our number line. This is our area model. This is our length model. 7/4 is 1 whole and 1, 2, 3/4. So we have to be able to look at fractions that way, okay? So tomorrow we'll look at the eighths that we did. We said there was 14/8. We're going to look at that, okay? So today we have another problem, and I just set all my stuff on top of it because that's how Miss Street's doing right now, and it's okay. Here we go. It's one of those. That's different. Let me move this one over. Thanks for being patient with Miss Street. I know. All right, here we go. says, what fraction of this figure is shaded? I'm going to leave it there for a minute. Is it 1/4, 1/5, 3/4, or 2/5? And Ms. Street made sure to write, we need to look at the area model and the length model when I do this. Right here, what is this? That's an area model, but I also want to show it on a length model to make connections. So let's take a look. Here we go. Now, I would just like to point out that this is not a circle and it's not a rectangle like we've been using with our area models, but we can still use those to help us. Okay, so let's take a look. This is our hole. I'm just going to use the circles because they're close. So here's my circle, my one hole. And then I'm going to count the parts. Here we go. Can you see, sort of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know I have 8. Okay, so I'm going to use my 8 pieces. And it says 2 8s are colored, or shaded, is what it's called. 2 8s. Can you see that on my model? I mean, you can. Good. Okay, and that's the same as showing it this way. Okay, we can show our area models with what we know, which is our circle discs and our rectangles. So let's see. That's 1/4. I have 2 8s. I'm looking for 2 8s here. I have 1/4, 1/5, 3/4, or 2/5. I'm really confused. I have 2 8s. There's clearly 2 8s here. Miss Street, the answer's not here. Au contraire, mon frere. We remember our related fractions. We have to find a fraction that's related to 8s. And if you guys remember, Miss Street, I'm going to show you this with the rectangles. We can relate halves. If we take a half and partition it in half, then we have 1/4. If we take the 1/4 and partition it in half, we have 1/8. So halves, fourths, and eighths are related fractions. So I'm going to apply that here because I see I have 2 8s on my circle disc. So, all right. So if I do that, if I know halves, fourths, and eighths are related, what do I know is not related? 1/5 and 2/5, because third graders don't even work with fifths. At this point in our lives, you work with halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, and eighths. It's a true story. I'm going to mark through those. So I'm going to try to find, I've got my 2 8s, which area, it's 1/4 or 3/4, has the same value as 2 8s. Those are related fractions. Okay, here we go. So here's my one hole. I'm going to start with 3/4. So here's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. You tell me. Let me get my 8s back on top so you can see them. It's hard when these are paper. Miss Street has used these this whole COVID crisis 19 of America. So is 3/4 cover the same area as 2 8s? No, 3/4 we can tell is more than 2 8s. So then I'm going to mark that one out. So I can see that 2 8s, it's not perfect, but Miss Street's trying, 2 8s covers the same area as 1/4. So I know the fraction that is shaded is a 1/4. Awesome job. Now Miss Street wants to show you this with a number line. Okay, hold on. Here we go. So I know when I showed you guys this number line, it's partitioned in fourths. So now I want to do this one in eighths. And because it just goes up to one whole unit, I'm just going to make my number line go to 1 today. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, that 1 looks wonky, but it's a 1. I always like to do a tick or a mark less than 0 because there are numbers less than 0. So because I know related fractions in eighths, I know I take my one whole, I partition it in half. That gives me half. I can partition my halves in half, and that gives me fourths. So that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And I know if I take each fourth, like I've been doing, each fourth, partition it in half, what do I get? I get 1/8. So I'm going to say, so I know that's 1/8, that's 2/8. Can you see? 3/8. Whew, I'm running out of room. 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. Maybe Miss Street should have done different colors. Maybe next time I'll do different colors so you can see it better. So I'm looking for 1/4. And even look right here. Hang on, let me get a different color. If you look right here, when we did it on our area model, what do you see right here? You may have 1/4 and what? Do you see below an 1/8? 1/4 and 2/8. So it's important for us to show it both ways just to make sure that we completely understand. I hope you guys have the best Monday ever. I really do. And I will see you tomorrow. We're going to dig deeper some more because Miss Street really loves this kind of stuff. I love it when it's hard and the answer is not just right there so you can see it. And I love it when you say, Miss Street, the answer is 2/8 and it's not here. It is there. You've got to see it in a different form. I know, right? I know. So excited to be on this journey with you. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.